There's not a lot of guys like this, not a lot of human beings like this, with that kind of strength and resilience and ability literally under fire to stand up and say, fight. It was inspirational. I believe President Trump is going to win in November. I've previously disclosed he will have my vote. And I am now one of the people who will walk over broken glass to make sure I cast my vote. And I know I won't be alone. I think now you are going to see formerly blue states rush to pull the lever for Donald Trump. I think my fellow Americans will understand how important it is to send a message loud and clear to the people who want to change our country that we won't allow it, that we are not going to lose sight of one another. The panic button has officially been hit on the Democratic side, and Trump has never been more of a threat. And now tonight, after calling him on newspaper magazines and in formally respected newspapers, they sit and they say, really, he should tone down the rhetoric? Really, he should be calling for his side to behave better. You've got to be kidding me.
Hey man, I don't really care how much you love or hate President Donald Trump. Now is not the time to play politics. Now is the time to pray for Donald Trump, his family, and the families of those who lost someone in the shooting. We got people out here who are so focused on the fact that they think that this assassination attempt was staged that they are forgetting about the fact that someone died. I mean, do I have a problem with the fact that the shooter was 150 yards away and the Secret Service and the police couldn't stop him? You bet your sweet heart parts I do. There is no way in hell this should have happened. Whoever was in charge of the police that day should be gone. Whoever was in charge of the Secret Service should be gone. Because whether you like Donald Trump or not, every life is worth living. No one should be subjected to nearly losing their life at a presidential rally. So again, I tell you guys, this is not the time to play politics and pick sides. Let's pray for Donald Trump. Let's pray for the ones who lost a loved one. And pray for America because we're in dark times.
In March of 1981, Ronald Reagan survived an assassination attempt. That would-be assassin got 6 shots off in 1.7 seconds. Those shots nearly took the life of Ronald Reagan, and it changed the trajectory of his presidency. What transpired after his assassination attempt has become presidential and political legend. The courage that Reagan showed after his assassination attempt cemented his relationship with the American people, and it also cemented his political standing. The parallels between what happened with Reagan in 1981 and what happened with Donald Trump yesterday are striking. As Reagan was being wheeled into surgery, he joked with his attending surgeon and said, "I hope you're a Republican." Dr. Joseph Giordano, who was actually a liberal Democrat, smiled and joked back and said, "Today, Mr. Reagan, we are all Republicans." From that point on, Ronald Reagan became politically untouchable. He became almost like a mythical figure. Yesterday, July 13th at 6:11 p.m., Donald Trump may himself have become Reagan-esque. But unlike the aftermath of the Reagan assassination attempt, there is no way we can confuse anything politically in America today. There's no way that anybody can assume we're all Republicans today. Actually, far from it. However, the result of the coming election may indeed be very similar. You see, many Americans who might not have been voting for Trump before this crazy assassination attempt seem like they will be voting for Trump in November.
Hey, I would like to thank the powers who thought that would be a great idea to try to harm President Trump. We'd like to thank you for the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And boy, are the numbers gonna be earth-shattering. Democrats are done. You fuckers are never gonna be in power again. Your great-great-great-great-grandchildren ain't gonna fucking be in power. Peace!
He's absolutely right. With what I've been seeing today, in the aftermath of an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, it seems that something has definitely flipped. The entire mood of the country is now shifting towards Donald Trump being president in November. Over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you some of the videos I've been able to put together that basically underscore that sentiment.
No bad president has ever been assassinated. All the presidents that did harm to our country all did fine. They lived their lives. All the ones that did good for the country they've had attempts on their lives.
For the last hour, I've been watching the videos of the attempted assassination of President Trump. Now, I've gone through a wide range of emotions because this hit me like a freight train. And like many of you, I'm sure we all agree we're angry. But maybe you should be feeling righteous indignation.
That's what I said yesterday. I said you need to have that kind of righteous indignation, that righteous anger, the type of anger that Jesus had in the temple when he basically went up to the money changer. It is okay to be angry, not to strike out, but make sure that you understand where we are right now.
You see, when they put this man through everything they did, they tried to use corrupt courts to take away his money, tried to put him in prison, discredit him among the people he knew his whole life. Well, they didn't just try to assassinate a president. They assaulted the rights of every American that believes in him and was going to elect him president. So the bottom line is, you were attacked as well. But
yes, don't forget that. He has said it many times. They're coming after him because he stands in the way of us. So understand, you indeed were attacked as well.
Here's the point I want to make. If we look back to the assassination of John F. Kennedy or Robert F. Kennedy, it's always the same thing. You see, you got Secret Service protection on a man that's very popular. How'd that guy get on the roof without a little help? And of course, the assassin always has to die so he can't rat on the people who set him up. But here's the point I want to make. You made a decision that it was okay for you to take a man's life. So when the retribution comes, do not ask for any mercy, because I hope whoever finds
Have I not said that? We're not going to take any prisoners, and they shouldn't expect any mercy.
You ends up putting a level of violence on you that will never be spoken about in polite company again for the rest of history. You made your choice to take the gloves off, so don't cry when you get what you deserve, because you tried to f with him, a man, and every other person that was going to vote for him.
Breaking news, Trump was just shot at a rally in Pennsylvania. Now, I'm on the road right now, so I don't have all the details, but I'm hearing that he was grazed in the ear, and I'm hearing that it was multiple people that got shot, but at least they got the shooter. Now, when I heard this, people were sending me tweets to my phone of people making fun of Trump getting shot. This is the tolerant left. Y'all have the fucking nerve to call MAGA and Trump supporters extremists, and y'all doing shit like this, then turn around and making fun of the situation. Someone getting hurt. But I tell you one thing, Trump today proved that he's him. You understand me? Trump has showed that he is him.
They have awoken a giant. And I'm talking about the people, the American people who see this. He is becoming legend. That fist pump after being shot was all people had to see. It made so much of a difference. It showed people this is what a leader is supposed to be.
That's my fucking president, y'all. That is my president, standing strong. It's okay, though. I promise y'all, his poll numbers is about to go up even higher. This situation right here just solidified his victory. Y'all don't even know. So y'all could key, ha, 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 laugh all day on the damn internet. Trump won. Prayers for you, Donald Trump. We love you, we support you, and we are here for you. That's a strong man right there.
I'm about to get so much hate for this. You know what? Fine. I don't care. Real talk. I wasn't really a Trump supporter, definitely not a Clinton supporter, and I wouldn't vote for Biden. I was going to sit out this election because neither option was that great to me. But after watching what unfolded in Pennsylvania and everyone asking, why aren't people running? You know why? Because the Trump supporters represent the non-1%. They're the soldiers on the front lines. They're the cops out there handling all these rallies and violence. They're the EMTs saving you when you overdose. They're the nurses holding your hand. They're the teachers taking care of your children and being underpaid. And I always thought Trump was a sexist, racist jerk, name-calling. But you know what? Watching the way he carried himself yesterday, picking himself up, chanting to the crowd that he was okay and to fight, and chanting USA, that was a thing of beauty. As twisted as it sounds, I know. It really was a thing of beauty. It's a miracle that hundreds of other people weren't injured or killed in a stampede. And watching the way he picked himself up, that man is a true leader, and I know I'll get hate for it, but you know what? Trump 2024.
What's up, guys? CJ Pearson here. My 66-year-old grandmother, my 66-year-old black grandmother, who has never voted for a Republican president in her entire life, just told me she's voting for Donald Trump in November. Today was the tipping point for her. She said, and I quote, "The Democrats have lost their damn minds."
Absolutely. People who've been through the assassination era, when I call it the assassination era, I'm talking from 1963 to like 1968, when people saw John F. Kennedy get killed, when they saw Martin Luther King Jr. get killed. They all lived through this. They know at this point, well, okay, we're back. You just took me back to 1968. You took me back to 1963. I know what you're all about.
She's absolutely correct. She's absolutely right. Guys, they tried to kill that man today.
Yep.
But inadvertently, what they do not realize is they only made him stronger.
I, however, believe they do realize. I think in their minds, they're thinking, what have we done? Even if they're going to say they weren't involved, it doesn't really matter at this point. They were still complicit. By calling this man Adolf and calling him an existential threat and a threat to democracy, they knew what they were doing. They didn't have to pull the trigger. Just by saying those things, they are complicit. And all of you in the media who repeated those things, Jake Tapper, you are complicit as well. Everybody now knows what you guys have been saying, and you've been saying it for some time, and we've had it.
Folks, I was watching this rally just now, and with my two eyes, I just saw these people try to take President Trump out. I'm praying for President Trump and his family right now. These people mean business. These people want this man dead. The Democrat Party and the deep state will stop at anything to get rid of Trump. And they tried today. Hopefully they were unsuccessful because he looked like he's okay. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, you guys have opened up a can of worms that you didn't want to open up.
Yep.
I think a lot of patriots saw what happened today, and you're going to really pay the price politically for this ignorance what you just did today.
So at the end there, obviously I had to bleep it because the guy had a couple of expletives that you probably could figure out. When I'm telling you people have had it, I'm talking a lot of black people as well. Not just white people, a ton of black people. Remember that ratio I told you that in the past the Democrats have gotten 89, 90% of the black vote in order to win? And then when Dementia Joe won last time, he got like 90% of the black vote, and he only won by 4 or 5 points. And now they're saying, well, it looks like he's only going to get 70. Well, that 30% can't be made up. And now he's chipping in to even that 30%. It may go up to 40% by the time the election comes. There's no mathematical chance for Dementia Joe to win at this point.
In 2017, I decided to come out in support of Donald Trump and MAGA. Since that time, over the years, I've sometimes wondered if I made the right decision because of the backlash and nonstop trolling that I receive online. However, after watching Donald Trump stand up in front of millions of people with a visible wound on his face and tell America to keep fighting for what is right, I knew that I had made the right decision, and I've been on the right side of history.
I spoke to my wife today and I said, what did that image mean to you? She's like, obviously, men love it because it shows fearless. It shows somebody who's willing to be a leader. And she says from a female perspective, it showed an alpha male. This is a guy bleeding from his ear, just had somebody take shots at him, and he's like, fight. And he's telling you. So you're going to see a real big shift from women to Donald Trump, from weakness to strength. You can't even look at these guys as any sort of parallel anymore. You got this guy who can barely talk, who can barely walk, and you got this guy over here who just survived an assassination attempt, is bleeding, is being dragged off the stage by Secret Service people, and he's going like this. I'm not going out like that. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to show you something else that even further amplifies the alpha male in Donald Trump. It was simply amazing.
This whole time. It's obvious to me that Democrats do not care about black people, they do not care about the poor, and they do not care about innocent human life, which is something that Donald Trump does care about, and he's always championed. I am more awakened now than I have ever been before, even so more than in 2017. And I will continue to support Donald Trump. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, God bless you.
Hey, Sleepy Joe and the Democrats, what y'all got going on? If you can't beat them unalive, they just trying to take out Trump. Literally, I just sit there and watched it live. My man grabbed his neck like this. Yo, Secret Service, get out. I said, what is this, a movie? Is this a script? I don't know what's going on. All I know is one thing for sure, two things for certain. Somebody done called a hit, and we know what's going on.
We do. We all know what's really going on.
Y'all know that man finna win the election. Y'all know Sleepy Joe almost out of here. Y'all know what's going on. Did y'all just see that on TV? Did y'all just see that? History was just right before them folks just took a shot at Trump. And then my man got up and threw Black Power up like this here. My man did this here. My man threw up Black Power like this.
I'm not sure if most of you people who are white are watching this, but that struck a chord throughout the black community. I got calls and texts last night that I never heard from some people. I'm like, oh my God, the dude's gangster. The dude is seriously gangster. It really, really embodied him with the black community.
I know it was Black Power. It wasn't just no. My man threw up Black Power with blood leaking down it. Hey, Trump, I'm gonna go and let you know now. You just won the election, my guy. You listen to me. These folks just seen the Patriots. Then you got up like you grew up in the hood.
He got up like he grew up in the hood. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I shouldn't even be laughing. This is such a serious matter. But I hope you're seeing what's going on with the black community.
You got up and took that hit like a man. Them folks done grazed your ear. Them folks done hit you like this here. You done went down. Then you got up and hit them like this here. You just won the election. Sleepy Joe is over. You gonna go take your nap for however long you want to take it. It's done.
Go on and take your nap, sleep for as long as you want to. It's done. It's absolutely done. Just imagine this. At this point, what message can any of the Democrats actually provide? If you have to pull back on your insane rhetoric, if you can't call him Adolf, if you can't call him an existential threat to democracy, if you can't call him a dictator, and you pull all that messaging and say, I can't do that because they had to pull all of their ads because that's what they were going to do. Now what do you have? What do you have for messaging? Because you can't talk about anything that you've done. All you can talk about is specifically what you're trying to paint Trump as. But now that's been taken away from you because of some stupid idiot that you guys basically incited. Now what you got? It's over.
You left-wing nut jobs. You can't win on merit, so you gotta do what? Try and kill the man? Really? It's a good thing y'all don't know how to shoot. It's a good thing y'all are piss poor at defense, self-defense, offense, all of it. Well, the only thing you proved is this, that you guys are the ones that are prone to violent actions.
Exactly. They try to paint the Republicans and conservatives as being what? Dangers to society, domestic terrorists. But if you think back, as this man is going to point out, who has been doing all the terrorizing? Who has been doing everything for like the last 4 or 5 years? They have.
Every time you lose, violence. But we're the extremists, right?
Right.
We are the ones that are extremists. That's kind of odd. That's really odd. Last time I checked, when the man you took a shot at today won in 16, y'all burned and rioted. When you don't get your way, you burn and riot.
George Floyd.
When something happens to one of your felons, you burn and riot. He got indicted 34 times and we didn't do a single bit of looting, right?
Not one riot. Nothing burned. We obeyed the law. You guys do that crap. You do the protest. You do the peaceful protesting while you're burning stuff down. The people know. The media, you're done. We all know your games at this point. What you're not in tune with are actual people like this gentleman and the rest of the people in this video.
Or burning. This is certainly proof that you guys are the violent ones. And if there's anyone capable of local terroristic acts, it's you people.
And Joe, what was your state of mind coming into this rally today? What were you expecting and what are you feeling now?
Love this. Listen to what this man says. You could almost feel this chick from MSNBC. You could almost feel her blood run cold.
We all experienced a day that none of us thought would come.
Well, I was excited. I mean, this is our second rally, and the first one, Trump is very energetic when he comes to these, but now I want to vote for him more than ever, just to send a message to these people. They can't stop him.
What? Why would you want to vote for him more than ever at this point? Why is that? To send a message to you people. You can't stop us. That's exactly what he just said. We're going to send a message and let you know you've tried over and over. You can't stop him, and you definitely can't stop us. That is the message moving forward. Trump has been saying it. We all know it.
9 years ago, this was me. I was 17 years old, and I was protesting Donald Trump at a rally. I'm making this video so hopefully you can realize that it's okay to admit that you were wrong. A lot of us fell victim to the media's lies, and a lot of us hated Donald Trump. You could see that I had a very articulate message and logic and reasoning behind my hatred for the man. No, Trump. Trump, bad. I encourage all of you to watch the pinned video on this account, Tim Pool's interview with Donald Trump, where he talks about how he wants to bring peace to the world. I know I want peace. I'm sure that you want peace. I know back then I wanted peace, but I was hoodwinked, tricked, lied to, and deceived by the media. Don't be afraid to let go of your ego and admit that you were wrong. Our country depends on it. Last night, we all saw a strong man stand up after being pew-pewed in the face. Don't be a coward. We cannot grow as a country if everyone is scared to say what they're thinking. And make sure you're actually thinking. Here, I was not thinking, I was believing. You cannot think and believe at the same time.
So, President Trump just got shot. And as someone who voted against Trump in both 2016 and 2020, this is a cause for deep reflection by me. Mm-hmm. And my question is, have we been told the truth at any point over the last 8 years about who...
You woken people up. This was a Biden voter. This was an Obama voter. And people are now waking up and going, this whole deep state crap, you guys been lying to us. Hey, Mr. Media, Jake Tapper, all the rest of you guys on CNN and MSNBC, Joy Reid talking about you. They know now. People now know they have been lied to.
Trump is and what's actually going on here. A lot of people who are pro-Trump have been saying that this is the playbook of they, whether it's a deep state or, some shadowy interest in the government. First, they try to cancel you. So they say shit about your character. They say things that can't actually be proven. They take quotes from you that make you basically look bad. The second thing that they try to do is they try to convict you of something. In this case, trumped up charges about you paying legal expenses to a porn star for her to not say that you had sex with her. It's like, morals aside, is that really a big deal enough to convict someone? And then the third thing that they try to do is they try to kill you. And that's just what happened with Trump. And actually, I've been updating my view on Trump recently, and I started going back to some of the things that I was told that he said, and some of them he literally did not say.
See, I wish more people would do that. This gentleman took the time to go back and say, well, I heard this in the media. Did he really say that? And then he took the time to go look and no, he never said that. That was a lie. And once you start doing that and uncovering lie after lie after lie that even Dementia Joe is still saying as recently as yesterday, it makes everything they say suspect.
For example, you remember when we were told that he said of white supremacists and other racists in a rally that he said that they were good people? It's not true. If you actually watch the whole clip, and I'll share a link to the clip here, you can see that he's clearly saying there were other people at the rally who are good people.
They're calling the alt-left and white supremacists on the same moral plane.
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane. What I'm saying is this. You had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious and it was horrible.
So this is a time where it's really hard to know what to believe, but sometimes when we hear things are conspiracy, maybe it's time to listen because maybe it's not.
I posted that today on Twitter. There are no conspiracy theories anymore. There are just facts left to be uncovered for people to actually do the research and realize it. There are no longer any conspiracy theories. Everything we've seen over the last 8 years, and I can't even talk about some of this stuff if you know what I mean, Fauci. You've said things and you told all of us that we were conspiracy theorists. And then slowly but surely things come out. And we heard about the 2020 election. Hey, you can't even talk about that. Oh no, nobody can question that. And then slowly but surely information comes out. They've learned how to play the waiting game. They know they can say anything today, and it's going to take years before anybody finds out the actual truth. 4 years ago, we were all conspiracy theorists. Today, it's like, yeah, you lied. It took people a while to find out, but you lied. It's not a conspiracy theory. You did some things in the last election that people are now finding out about. It's no longer a conspiracy theory. There was stuff from, that thing, the jabs and all that kind of stuff, and we were told basically you do that jab and everything will be fine, and now people are succumbing. There are no conspiracy theories. It just takes time for people like that gentleman to go find out the actual facts. Snopes has said a couple times now, years later, that what Trump said has been misconstrued. People call this conspiracy theory. Now the fact checkers have actually done some fact checking and find out, it wasn't a lie. It wasn't a conspiracy. That really happened. It's just time that it takes to get through all of that data and reveal the truth.
Yo, y'all f***ed up, right? You f***ed up, right? I can't believe y'all took a shot at Trump, and you don't think this man ain't gonna turn up on y'all? He told y'all he clearly believes in getting revenge. Y'all took a shot, and you don't think he knows where that came from? Yo, it's about to get hot. It ain't even August yet. Y'all f***ed up. Y'all don't f***ed up this time.
I've had some time to process the assassination attempt on Trump yesterday, and I have one thing to say and one thing only. Soon, you can call me
I had to delete a couple of words he said because even he mentioning what other people call him and the racial slurs that they use can get me in trouble on this platform.
You can call me a bootlicker, you can call me a sellout, whatever racist descriptor you may choose, but I'm here to tell you this. What we saw on that stage in Pennsylvania was the complete embodiment of what it means to be an American, to stand in defiance against a regime that would wish to cut you down by any means necessary. Most people, when they're shot at, they would turn and run or cower in fear. And the fact that that man chose to take that moment on that stage and stand and pump his fist and encourage us to remain fighting, to continue fighting even though he had blood on his face.
I don't think a lot of people on the left, the soy has hurt them so much they don't understand what an alpha male is anymore. In fact, they're afraid of alpha males. They can't understand the concept. That's why they're trying to doing all the Transformer stuff, and they've got months dedicated to that alternative lifestyle. That's what they've been pushing. We've seen the pictures. We all know who these people are. We know what they embrace, and they've been trying to push alpha males off to the side. And a bunch of alpha males who've been feeling kind of timid saw what happened yesterday, and they realized that's the kind of guy I am. That's the kind of guy I want to associate with. That's the kind of guy I want leading us. I want strength. I want defiance. I want fight. I want people who are going to just look in the face of danger and say, bring it. That's what people want. Unfortunately for the Democrats, they didn't expect that yesterday. I don't know who planned it. I'm not even going to go down that road. I don't have the facts, not even going to basically try to conjecture anything about it. Other than the fact of whatever happened, you enabled Donald Trump to rise to a mythical standard. It's not even a myth. He stood up in the face of bullets whizzing by his head and said, fight. That was a call to arms. And it's a call to arms that many men and many women are going to heed.
If that doesn't stir something deep inside you, I don't know what will. But I'll tell you one thing, Trump 2024, and I'm not the only one.
So an assassination attempt was just made on President Donald Trump, and I don't think it was successful. I think he got grazed in the ear. I'm not going to fearmonger you guys. And I am so tired of these diluted American brains that are listening to this theater script play out on television, telling them that reality is one thing, and they're not smart enough to step out their door and realize reality is completely different.
He's talking about a lot of things. Most recently, Karine Jean-Pierre telling us what we were seeing and hearing with our own eyes and ears about Dementia Joe was a deep fake, a cheap fake. And so many people bought into that narrative. I saw it over and over on Twitter. It's fake, it's fake, it's fake. Where you didn't open your own eyes. You just keep listening to the pablum that people are feeding you instead of understanding. Use the brain that God gave you and understand that they're lying to you.
We have the news telling us white supremacy is one of the biggest threats to our country. We have people telling us that the conservatives are the same as the neo you-know-whats. They have people saying that ultra MAGA is violent. They have people saying that Trump's trying to overthrow democracy. They have people saying that all of the violence and the civil unrest and the inflation and everything is conservative Trump fault. And I'm tired of it. If you aren't smart enough to step outside your door and look around and be like, all right, hold up. This theater that I'm watching inside isn't matching what's going on outside.
You have to be strong enough to detach from the gaslighting that the White House and the media are laying on you. If you're still looking at mainstream news and not understanding that you're being lied to daily, if they're looking you right in the eye and lying to you on camera, if you don't want to basically detach from the matrix, you're going to continue to be gaslit.
Learn to do your own research. I am tired of you guys just running around, I'm a proud American, and then opening your mouth to be spoon-fed information so you can palate it. Because if you ever had to draw your own conclusion or connect your own dots, you would be completely lost and probably dye your hair purple. There is one president in this race that had an assassination attempt taken against him. As a matter of fact, if you think back to the last president that had an assassination attempt taken on him that has gotten this close, you're going to go back a ways. And if you actually look at the presidents that were assassinated and you look at what they were doing to the government money, you would realize the reason they're getting taken out isn't because some random Joe Schmo downtown doesn't want that president. It's because the system feels threatened.
Remember that. The system feels threatened. JFK, go back and do your research. Look at what was going on at the time. Who was threatened by JFK? Who was threatened by Martin Luther King? Who was threatened by RFK? Go back and do the research. You'd be absolutely shocked. Most of you probably won't be, but it's the same people today.
It's not some random person that's living out in the country that's like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take out Donald Trump. No, this is a systematic approach, right? Their first approach was, hey, we're going to make sure that Joe Biden gets elected and we're going to make sure he gets the votes. He got the votes, boom. This time around, they were going to do the same thing. They were going to put Joe out there. He was going to get a landslide of votes. Joe was going to win again. But here's the thing. They decided instead of trying to do anything risky, let's just put our opponent in prison. Let's do it the legal way. Let's send him through the judicial system, get him locked up so he can't run for president. And that failed. And as a matter of fact, it garnished more support for Donald Trump. So they were like, oh crap, Joe Biden, you got to get out there and debate. You got to make sure we can sell how many votes you're going to get and people are going to believe it. But guess what? Joe went up there and fumbled the ball. It's not a coincidence that this assassination attempt happened right after Joe Biden completely fumbled the bag.
That is so true. There are no coincidences. There are no conspiracy theories. Everything he just told you was step by step what happened. They saw what they did in 2020. They were going to do it again in 2024. There was no I can't say the word here, where they could just keep Joe in a basement. So they had to get him out there on the debate stage. He completely imploded. Then he did the interview with George Stephanopoulos, didn't do anything for him. And then just so happened, now they take a shot at Trump. You just got to open your eyes.
The debate stage. And all of a sudden, even his own supporters are calling for him to step down. And now the system that you supposedly hate but somehow still vote liberal, that system is panicking. And the only other option they have, since they already exhausted the fake vote, they've already exhausted the legal proceedings, and now their only option is left with desperate, take him out. If you guys can't actually see this playing out, then I don't know what you're on, but I'm so sick and tired of the mentality that Americans have, being like, well, no. Start paying attention. Start paying attention. The presidents that get taken out are the presidents that threaten the system. The same system that you complain incarcerates black people. The same system that won't give you health care. The same system that's doing everything that you've complained about for decades, yet somehow you keep voting for Joe Biden 1994 crime bill. Kamala Harris imprisoning black people on minor marijuana charges just to put people on our prison workforce. If you don't wake up and smell the freaking flowers, I don't know what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Stop thinking like they're telling you how to think and start thinking for yourself. When you go vote, there's one guy that's taking out the system that hates you, and there's another guy that's making that system stronger. You make that choice.
See, I think most people can't, not most, many people can't make that choice. They want to be spoon-fed. We're in the digital age. At this point, there are people alive who weren't alive when Reagan was shot. 1981 was 40 years ago. There are people that weren't here then that are voting. That's why they're courting these young kids. They want the 18 to 29-year-olds because they haven't seen it. 2001 was 23 years ago. 2001, obviously 9/11. There are walking, talking humans walking around who have never seen any of the stuff that our government has been involved in. They didn't see the Vietnam War. They didn't see the Kennedy assassination. They didn't see the second Kennedy assassination. They didn't see Martin Luther King Jr. being assassinated. They didn't see 9/11. Most of them don't believe in the Holocaust. They don't even understand what happened in these different wars. They've been completely blinded by their phones and their games and their TikToks. They don't even know what has happened in history. It's not even being taught to them. Boys can be girls. They think Transformers are okay. They don't even believe what happened on October 7th in Israel because people are telling them that it didn't happen. They have no sense whatsoever to go do your own research. So you paint your hair purple, you're told that Trump is like a dictator, and that's all you believe. You've been spoon-fed BS. It's time for you to regurgitate some of that stuff and open your mind. None of us has a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen in November. And only time will tell if we indeed see a Reagan-esque landslide for Donald Trump. But with Dementia Joe and the Democrats having no real message now to put forth to the American people, it's likely we could see that landslide. And for sure, there's no doubt we're going to see Trump's legend continue to grow.